What's going on, friends? James the Win here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. I don't even know where to look. I'm trying to make all the buttons go. I know it's been a while since I've complained about making all the buttons go, but here we are. Here we are. Welcome to Friday night, the Friday night draw stream. I hope you checked out the Supergirl trailer so we can talk a little bit about it. I only watched it once, so I don't remember much about it. And I didn't realize this, but the last time that I had a trailer for Superman way back when in the summer when I was watching the Superman trailer with you, I got some kind of a copyright strike. So we're not going to do that. I remember the sound wasn't even working, but there it was. Got a copyright strike, and I didn't know nothing about it. Didn't know nothing about it. Let me see if I can hear the music. Okay, I do hear some music, so don't want it to overtake it. But guys, we are going to show you what I've been working on. Kind of a secret project. I'm guessing that it's not going to matter too much if I show you a sneak peek when I add it to the stage, and I'm going to just kind of flip through it. I'm not going to talk too much about it, to be honest with you, because it might be a sore subject. But yeah, here we are. This is what I've been working on for the past week, and so we're not going to talk too much about it. If you saw my Facebook post, you saw my image of Alpha Red, and this just happens to be some of the other stuff that I've been working on, and you won't see the full piece until I finish it up. It gets fully colored, but yeah. So we are here. The girl of the hour. She is super. She is supposed to be pretty. I don't know what you think of Millie Alcock, but she's, I don't know. I hate to insult the girl. She's a movie star, for goodness sake. You know, like, who am I to poo-poo on the girl that they think is pretty enough to put a couple $1 million on. So, but I don't know. She's about as good looking as Sydney Sweeney to me. And they're both, you know, kind of blonde hair, whatever. I just don't think she's wearing enough makeup. I think she looks better when she wears makeup, but that is not the way of the current beauty trends. It's a more of a natural look. So who knows? But tonight, this is what we're going to draw. This is who we're going to draw. And you're wondering, like, what is this guy doing down here? This is the pose that we're going to do, and it's a generic AI pose. It's actually a Jim Lee pose. I was looking through, and I was like, I started using it for another drawing that I'm doing, that I'm drawing for somebody, and it's a free drawing that I'm doing for somebody, but they're going to do me another favor. So I thought I'd get on there and get a generic superhero pose, and so that is why the guy with the giant S is on the picture there. But I'm gonna say hello to my buddy, Brother Fong. It's in the house. He says, ready to watch this drawing take flight. My man is so clever. Brother Fong is so clever. I was tracking the shipment. Looks like your package was delivered today, so I hope that your nephews will enjoy it. I've been promising myself that I would make something where I can keep these reference things close by, but I still not have done it. So you're gonna have to put up with me fumbling around with it. So I'm gonna stick with my new thing where I use the backer board to draw these things on, just because I think it's trying to start a new trend where you can keep the sketch with your comics. So it already has a protected board, and so that is, and then you can put it right near your favorite comic of the character. Mr. Mo's Gaming Channel says I'm gay. I am gay. I am not, sir. I am married. Oh, he says it not once, not twice, 3 times. He's just making sure that I have to prove my manlyhood, my manliness. Yep, you got the books just in time for Christmas. Thanks for the extra goodies. You're welcome, sir. You are welcome. So I am just using this, obviously, simply to get the pose. I liked the pose enough while I was working on the generic superhero picture. It's actually for a convention, a local convention, who asked me to come up with a mascot. And so I used that, put in a couple of prompts just to make sure that I got something kind of generically superhero-ish. Because sometimes, like when I'm drawing stuff, I try to do too much, I think, and it doesn't come out quite. It's like I'm pushing the envelope when people are just when the audience is going to be just more normie. So because this is going to be a more normie audience, I decided to just go into ChatGPT, or no, I think there was another one. Was it Grok? And I said just a superhero that can fly, that has a cape, and wears a mask. And so that is what it spit out. And it spit out a couple of images of this guy. And so I was pretty happy with maybe going with it. Another somebody who wants to make sure that are you guys fans of Millie Alcock? Maybe my judgment of her beauty, where people say that she's good looking, and I say that she's kind of just mid. She has something about her mouth, I think. It's kind of got like a kind of juts out, but it's a lot less noticeable when she is wearing makeup. But as you can see, she's not wearing much makeup. I mean, she obviously is wearing some makeup, but for the most part, she is not. She is not wearing a whole lot of it. So that's my take. I wasn't a huge fan of how they introduced her at the end of the Superman movie, and it's just really the character as in not her as Supergirl, but like a drunken young lady is it's just not my idea of heroic, and so it's kind of turned me off as being the original kind of first time you see her. But there's no doubt that when she appeared on the screen, she got some pretty loud hoots and hollers at my theater when I was watching Superman. Brother Ernest is in the house. What's going on, sir? Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for dropping by. So anyone else want to weigh in on Supergirl? I know maybe I shouldn't have started off with what I thought about her looks. Because I guess if you don't find her attractive, you must be homosexual. So tis according to Mo's Gaming Channel 9743 and you Chipu. We Chipu. UI Chipu. All right. So that is I was excited to see Lobo, and I couldn't really see Lobo, but I am thankful for the computer gurus that can lighten up those darker things, darker videos, and kind of shine some light on those characters. All right, so this guy is obviously a man, so we got to shrink down her shoulders because broader shoulders means more manly. And I do think that was probably the more unappealing look for the CBS/WB Supergirl. I thought she was pretty, but I don't know if they put in shoulder puffer uppers. I don't know. What do you call them? Pads, shoulder pads, I guess. Pads for her shoulder. But she looked like she had broader shoulders in the super suit. So I was not a huge fan of that look. Otherwise, from what I saw of that WB Supergirl, she was pretty good. Now, I don't know much about Supergirl, but I do know that she's supposed to be younger, and so I don't know how old Millie Alcock is, but she looks young. She does play she does fit as far as the look of her goes. It's fine. It's fine. I just think our standard of beauty has changed. I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but I feel like our standard of beauty has changed in the past few years. And maybe I'm not just up with the times. Maybe I'm just being an old fuddy-duddy. I like a little bit more makeup anyway. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so we definitely had girls with lots of makeup. Brother Fong says, looks like you got those monkeys from Lex Luthor who are just trolling this draw stream. Yes. It does appear so. It does appear so. So that's fine. There was a guy when I first started. I was trying to tell my kids, because I showed them. They don't always watch they used to watch more of my streams, but now they're downstairs just watching videos. There was a ballet that my son, who wants to be a videographer, was asked to videography whatever, and so they're watching that ballet downstairs. So they will not be watching my draw stream. So they started watching and then they stopped watching. And so I was showing them some of the earlier ones that they missed. And there was a guy who would come on and say, "Your stream sucks." And like when you're brand new doing this, I'm like, I know that I'm bad. You got to work through it. You got to get better. And I was like, don't you have somebody else that you like and that you would prefer watching? Go watch them. Go encourage them. Go tell them how great they are. Tell them that there's this guy over here doing a draw stream and he sucks. He sucks at doing it. I don't know. Like, why would you get on and harass somebody? But hey, here we are. Tis 2025 for a couple more days. So this is where we find ourselves. All right. So we've got the boot down here too. I think I'm missing that the foot comes in. Got some of those monkey trolls from the Phantom Zone. Is it the Phantom Zone that they were in, or is it just a pocket Pocket Universe, I think they kept calling it. The monkey trolls who believe that I am gay. And maybe I just assume they didn't like my take on Millie Alcock's looks. I mean, we all have our individual tastes. I'm a married man. I am not. I'm not gay. But our standards of beauty, our taste in beauty can differ. Nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see how long her hair needs to be, and let's give it a shape. Give it a flowy shape, because it's supposed to be pretty long, right? It's supposed to go maybe not quite as long as this. Hair is not the easiest thing to do. So hands are pretty hard, but hair, boy, you can really mess up a picture if the hair is noticeably bad, you know. And hopefully that doesn't happen here. So I'm gonna do and redo and do over and over until we get some good hair. We cannot have bad girl hair. Well, thank you. Hello. Arculades. Okay. Howdy. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for not calling me names. Not immediately calling me names, at least. At least you start off right, you know, nice. And then if I say something that offends you, just let me know what offends you, and then we can chit chat. So did anybody see the trailer? I assume that we all saw the trailer. Maybe we didn't. It was much like the Superman trailer in that it gave you enough of a taste and got you excited enough, and it was fine. It's just more of the same Supergirl that we saw in the Superman movie. So I'm not thrilled about that. That's one part I'm not thrilled about, but the cinematography, all that kind of stuff, that looks pretty top notch. If they didn't tell me that Lobo was going to be there, I wouldn't have probably assumed that was Lobo. But you know, the sleuths, the internet's sleuths, they knew he was coming. They remembered that he was going to be in there, and so GTG, I am in San Andres. Oh, you got to go. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. You're a sub. Awesome. I thank you so much. If you're not a sub, please consider that. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so that you'll come back. Yes. Thank you. Also, I'm not gay. I appreciate that. I appreciate you recognizing that. Jay Scott's in the house. What's up, James? Happy holiday. Drawing and holidays to everyone. Yes. Merry Christmas to everyone. Jason Momoa as Lobo, from Aquaman to Lobo. Yep, he would have been perfect. Thank you for stopping by, Arcules, and I hope you drop by more often. But yeah, I thought he was a miscast for Aquaman. I think I don't know. He wasn't blonde. I know they dyed his hair blonde, but really, it didn't fool me. All right, so let's see. Like, her eyes are kind of small. That's maybe another I don't want to keep talking about her looks because I hear she's a fine actress, and I'm sure she's a fantastic human being. Just not my ideal standard of beauty is all. Your back is burnt. Oh no. Are you in the sun a lot? Are you in the sun? Where I'm from, it is. We've had almost 3 feet of snow already this year. In central New York, we've had close to 3 feet since the beginning of November, and it started snowing like November 2nd or 3rd. Oh no. Yes, a salty beach and lots of sun. I wish I had a little bit of sun right where I am. I am in one of the cloudiest places. I don't know if it's on Earth. It definitely feels like it's one of the cloudiest places on Earth. I don't know how you would measure that, but that's what people around here say, that we live in the cloudiest place, not just in North America, but on the Earth. On the Earth. You can see it like when you are flying in, if you ever fly into Syracuse. You know you're in Syracuse when the skies just magically turn gray. Gray. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. I wish. I actually had some meatballs the other day. No, cloudy with a chance of, there was like a monsoon today because it's been really cold for the past couple days. And then yesterday, it warmed up to like 55 degrees. Or was that this morning? Yeah, this morning was 55 degrees. It had been below freezing. And then we wake up and it was a nice change. But that wasn't going to last. That definitely was not going to last. All right. We got to, like, if you have ever watched David Finch's channel, he kind of tells you how to draw hair. He says, make these ribbons. So you do like a big flat thing and then you curl it around and then bring down a thing. So like you start off like this one line and then a ribbon kind of next to it. And then you kind of join it up, but then you scoop it around and then you just kind of go back and forth on the ribbon. But it doesn't always work out, at least not for me. It seems to work out fine for David Finch. But he had many, many decades of perfecting it. And I don't draw that many women. And I especially don't draw even guys with long hair. The hair is not great. Also, I wish I could draw. It just takes time, brother. It just takes time. Or maybe you're 55. I'm 50. So, I'm not too far away. I thought Momoa was okay as Aquaman for the first movie, and the Justice League film, it worked. Yeah, it wasn't terrible for sure, because he had the machismo. He's obviously a movie star, so he can carry a lot of movies. But yeah, hair, yes. Also, I'm catching up in subs. Oh yeah, how many subs do you have? Maybe I'll jump over and after this, I'll jump over and look for you. Woman, was that? Yes, a woman. I'm not 55. I said 55 degrees. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. You're 12. Okay. Makes more sense. Yeah. So 12 is a great age to start drawing. Yeah. That is probably when I turned from just like an artist of regular art to comic book art. And that made drawing that much more fun, because the other stuff was kind of boring. I didn't know I wanted to do it for a living, drawing, because I was good at it, and I knew that a lot of people were not good at it. So that was going to be something that I focused on, but I didn't want to just draw trees or portraits or buildings. And then I found comic books, and that is why I continue to draw, because I don't know if I would still be drawing if I had to just draw portraits and landscapes and things like that. Just not as fun. So it's hard to convert all these muscles in my mind to feminize them. I don't know. Did you guys watch the WB Supergirl? Like I said, I like the look of it. And I think she's more attractive than in this current one. But maybe it's because she wore more makeup. Who knows? Who knows? And I hear that the villain in this movie is kind of just meh. It's nobody super important. So the people who got a chance to screen it says it's not fantastic. All right. It's kind of trippy to see Jason Momoa early on when he was on Baywatch. I didn't realize that before he had long hair and a beard. Was he Conan? Was he in the Conan revival or whatever? Okay, by now, 274 subs. Man, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Well, you'll have 275 by the end of the night. Hopefully, my old brain can remember to jump over. Momoa also in the upcoming Street Fighter. So I saw a preview. I don't know if it's a legit preview or if it's like an AI thing. So I'm excited about that. I didn't see Momoa in there. I saw the Ryu. I saw Guile and Chun-Li. But I did not happen to see Jason Momoa's. What's it? Blanca? He's playing Blanca. Yeah, he was Conan on the TV show. Was there a TV show for Conan? I thought he was. There was a movie, is what I remember. I forget what the storyline was even, but I liked him in whatever Conan role I saw him in. He looked the part, for sure. He looked the part. He didn't look like Arnold, but I don't know if Arnold looks the part for Conan. I mean, for sure, he's the movie Conan. But the more I find out about Conan, the more I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't dark enough. He was too good looking, too purty. Him too purty to be the actual Conan. To me, the appeal of Conan is his machismo. Not that Arnold doesn't have machismo, but it's machismo in spite of his failings in the looks department. Let me see. Oops, you're right. Conan movie in 2011. Okay, I thought so. I didn't. Did they? I think they tried a Conan TV show. There's a super tall guy that I'm picturing that they tried to turn into Conan, but I don't think it's stuck. He's like this, the actor I'm thinking of, I could be wrong, but he was in Gladiator too, like a super tall guy. In either Gladiator or the new Gladiator? No, it would have been the new Gladiator 2. He would have been much too old. But super tall guy. Yeah, Blanca. It seems most of the characters are played by WWE wrestlers and MMA. Hey, if they can handle it, I prefer the action other than a story that tries to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be cool video game-ish, like I remember. Momoa was probably cast as Conan to attract the female audience to watch the movie. Exactly. Girls get thirsty too, you know? And then the guys just have to like want to be like him. Just gotta want to be like the man. Ooh, the body turns a little bit over here. Okay, I forgot the body turn. Okay, it's a good thing I have this reference. So it turns a little bit, not a lot. But turns more than I thought. Okay. Redo that. Yeah, I thought about maybe sketching it out a little bit first, but I thought, you know, with the ease of how I was able to convert this AI generated picture into a generic superhero that I'm going to use as a mascot drawing, I was like, oh, I kind of worked out some of these translations in my head to make it like in comic bookize it, and it's proving to be a little bit more difficult converting it into a girl. Turn it into a girl. All right. Is that good? Is that good? Now I have to kind of decide about some things. Like, I do like that I don't have to think about where the shadows go if I just follow the shadows from here. But I do not have all the hair worked out. Do I just wing it and just assume that my brain is just gonna be able to make all the curls and the swirls make sense, and it won't look like a scribbly mess on her head? So no comment on her looks, huh? You guys okay with her looks? Is she good enough? Let me snap a picture of this before we come on. I got a text from my boss there, so I froze. It's Friday, man. There we go. It was a personal text. He's also my friend. My boss, also my friend. So my son told me at the beginning of the week. Well, he told me at the end of last week he was buying a car. And he was going to go drive down to Virginia. It's about a 9-hour drive away. And pick up a car. I said, oh, okay. I said, if you need any help, let me know. No, I got a friend. We're going to go. We're going to do that. I missed a bunch of stuff. Missed a bunch of stuff. There was a Conan the Adventurer TV show in 1997. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Ernest says, I thought the promo for Street Fighter was fake and AI, but I saw more and more about it, including the cast list. So I guess it's real. That's what I said because I knew the cast. And I saw the footage. And so I also thought like this was like fan made AI, but they said it's real. So, we'll have to live with it, deal with it. Also, a Conan the Adventurer animated series back when they were trying to make every R-rated film into a cartoon for kids. True. That's what it felt like. I hope there's a Van Damme cameo in the Street Fighter. That would be awesome if they brought all of the old cast back. Who's the locomotion girl? Why is he going all the way to Virginia? Because it's the car that he wants for the price that he wanted. So he got a Maserati, a 2014 Maserati Quattroporte GTS is what he got for, I think it was like $12,000. So it's a $140,000 car. And it needs some work. But we took it for a test drive today when it was delivered. It got delivered today. Was going to be the story. Okay, now 282 subs for Arculus. Wow. I'm glad you're just crushing it. You're crushing it. Also, I love the drawing. Thank you. All right. So let's get in here with the pen and make this sing. All right. So we always start with the eyes, right? The face, eyes, because if we get it wrong, we got to just keep working on it until we get it right. It's going to throw everything off if you got a bad face, bad eyes. And so, yeah, I'm using these backer boards. I don't know if you caught the beginning, but if you didn't, I'm using these backer boards to sketch on so that they're easier to collect and easier to store. Like paper comes in weird sizes. Drawing paper comes in 9 by 12, 11 by 14, 11 by 17. So they're just kind of odd sizes if you want to collect. And so I'm seeing if there's any benefit to just using these backer boards so that you can keep them with your comics. You can even put it in with a comic. So you have a favorite Supergirl comic. You could use this as the backer board or a second backer board. Do you like girls smiling? Your superhero girls smiling or not? Let's put a smirk on her face. Because it's too late over on this side. Yeah, so Ernest, I think your package is due to deliver tomorrow. I checked everybody's package before I got on. So Ernest, yours is tomorrow. There's only one person who I don't know. And for whatever reason, their package sat in Syracuse for 2 days. I don't know if they lost it or not. Sat here for 2 days before it moved. So it's due to deliver on Monday, not Saturday. But I'm thankful that it is going to deliver before Christmas. I mean, that was my cutoff date, was this past Monday, because I was afraid that it was going to get so busy that a week wasn't going to be enough. All right, now that we got the face, pretty good. Now we got to work on the hair. Make sure I don't fumble on the hair. Arculus says, I'm finally be eating churros. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, by the way. That's fine. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you got all those subs. I want to see the finished thing. Yes. It'll be here. It'll be here if you want to eat and come back. All right then. Looking forward to it. Yes. I found out there's something called the Nerd Culture Ministry Summit in Colorado Springs in April. Hey, that's good to know. I need to find out more about these things. So, I mean, that's the hard part, because as soon as everybody finds out, like, all the people who create stuff will go, but the people who are willing to buy stuff, that's who you got to tell people about it, you know? We have to get out there and be better at promoting where we're going to be, what we're selling. For me, going to a homeschool convention was a perfect place. I mean, I was guessing that it would be a good place for me, but I couldn't convince my wife that it was a good idea, and she didn't really know of any big homeschool conventions. So finally, in the spring of 2024, I don't know if I told her that I wanted to go to Tennessee, or she was already planning on going. But we decided to go to that homeschool convention, and she was networking for her podcast, Little by Little Homeschool. If you're interested in hearing my wife talk about homeschooling our kids, we only have one left to homeschool, so I asked her if she was going to continue after our youngest graduates this year, and she's assuming that she's going to continue. There's a lot of people in the space who used to homeschool, but they still talk about it and encourage young moms to do it, answer all those questions, give these young families peace about making that decision, because they are not, it's scary to pull them out of a system that everybody plugs into, even the people that you love and trust, and you will get pushback from people who don't understand why you would think that you could teach someone stuff if you didn't go to school for it. It's kind of crazy. Like, you are smarter than your child, and it does not take much to learn more than your child, especially in a way that where they can love to learn. My wife says she learned more teaching my kids than she did in public school. So, and I believe it. I mean, I don't remember much from high school, from any school. Obviously, it helped because I can read and write and do arithmetic, but maybe it's just because I'm Asian. I'm just saying, we've got a good reputation when it comes to that. Just saying. Let's see. Funk says this whole Christian nerd culture thing is growing. Yes, yes, yes. Because we have all found that the culture is moving away from the things that we can trust. So they created nerds. You know, they made us nerds, and then they thought that we'd stick with it as they make everything immoral, and we say no. Give us the cool stuff, but let's keep all the message out of there, the wrong message. I like the message. I like, the gospel is referred to as the message, and there's a translation, the Message translation. So I'm sure they came up with that because the gospel is considered the message. But we don't need the message in our geeky stuff. So I didn't realize, I've been watching a lot of documentaries on YouTube about like 80s cartoons. The algorithm just shows me some of this stuff. And I didn't realize that in the early to mid 80s is when they finally allowed companies to advertise the cartoon subjects that they were making cartoons about. Up until then, you weren't allowed to. It was considered unethical to make a cartoon about a toy because it would just seem like you were blatantly trying to sell the toy. And so it wasn't until Ronald Reagan signed some kind of law that says, yeah, you can market toys to kids. You can market the toys of the cartoons that you are showing kids. And so that's how we got He-Man and all of our favorite stuff. He-Man, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. All the good stuff. I'm sure in a couple of weeks we'll see all kinds of pictures of Supergirl's complete outfit, but until now, it looks like they're just using the Superman movie outfit. So that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. That is what we're going to do. Funk says, yep, Reagan deregulated children's cartoons in the 80s. Thus, the golden age of comics was born. Amen to that. So I don't know if we'll ever have that again. It just seemed like a moment in history where we all collectively were exposed to something for the first time and burned into our memories. All these awesome things that they try to give us. There was not enough hours in the day for them to show us all the things that they knew that we would love. I forget what it's called. Let me try to think of it. Something 411 is the name of the channel that's been doing it. That YouTube keeps showing me. And they talk about all of it, like Silverhawks, Thundercats, like what went wrong is what I think the name of the segments are. Like what happened to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then he kind of goes through the history of like the rise of it, and then why it kind of went away, and what's happening now. And of course, you know, the Transformers and G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtles always gets like a, you know, they're still around. You know, they went away usually because of stupid bureaucracy decisions. Not so much that fans weren't showing up, or they didn't show up because of a bureaucratic decision. Like MASC, Mobile Armored Strike Command, I think is what MASC stands for. And people loved it. And then the second season, they decided to, instead of make them enemies that were Venom, the bad guys, who were also, you know, that also was an acronym for something else, that they, instead of being guys who were trying to take over the world, they just wanted to race. It was some kind of a big world race, and nobody tuned in. Like, why do you think people would want to watch these vehicles that transform, and you just make them race? Who knows? But Silverhawks, I remember really digging Silverhawks. They had a formula for how many episodes made it perfect for a network to sign off on it, so that they can have a whole year's worth of new episodes, a year's worth of episodes that didn't feel like they were too repetitive. So it was 65 episodes was the magic number, apparently. And some of them failed because they didn't have 65. They had 20 couple or whatever, and they try to squeeze them in with other products, other cartoons, like an anthology version. Let me see. Funk says cartoons provided the mythology for all ages. All these toys we still love today. Yep. That's what's missing from the toy lines today. They need content to promote the toy line. Exactly. But we can't, you know, there's no conduit for us to all sit down like we used to after school, and there were only a limited amount of channels, so we all experienced the same cartoons, and then we would talk about them endlessly the next day. Then everybody wanted the toys, and so they made $1 bazillion doing that. But we don't have that anymore because everything's on demand. Silverhawks theme song was iconic. That Tallyhawk cry. That's right. So good. I saw that Dynamite has the rights to that, and they've been putting out comics of all these 80s stuff. And it looks like garbage, to be honest. I was like, I wonder if that IP is available, and how hard it would be to get an IP and put out new comics. But Dynamite has figured it out, and I think everybody is on the train of, oh no, I forgot the twister belt. I went back to the old belt. Let's pretend you guys didn't see me mess that up. And I'm going to put her belt over here and see if I can't fix that. Fix it. Got too excited about Silverhawks. Silverhawk. Yeah. It sounded cooler than that, obviously. Let's see if I can get away with not using the whiteout, because as much as I love the whiteout, and it definitely helps you in a pinch, it just creates another texture on the paper that that you can get away with if you're using it as the original. I mean, you're scanning it in and things, but yeah. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that belt goes. Because the middle then would be somewhere like right there. Just get all these energy lines going, and then you guys would be like, oh yeah, that's just the something or other, the clothes, that cloth. There we go. Use the cloth a little bit to make it turn. Yeah. Ernest says, no mistake, just happy accidents. Is that a Bob Ross thing? Just happy accidents. Somebody says that. That is a classic. That is a classic. Foam says Dynamite Comics has a lot of the old Warner Brothers licensed cartoon properties: Thundercats, Silverhawks, Space Ghost, Herculoids, wow, Blue Falcon, and Dynamite, Wacky Races, etc. Bob Ross, yes. My brain, my memory is not completely shot yet. Thank you, Ernest, for confirming that. Thank you. Just happy accidents. Happy little tree down there. Happy little tree. I mean, outside of you guys who are watching me make the mistake, hopefully nobody will notice. Nobody will notice. But yeah, this is a nice little superhero pose that I think I can use for generic superhero drawings. I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. And even if you're using the same pose, I think it evolves anyway. Ends up evolving. It's like, I remember when Joe Madureira was on X-Men, and then Roger Cruz came around. I don't know if those names mean anything to you guys, but Joe Madureira, Battle Chasers. Before Battle Chasers, he was on X-Men. And before that, he was like child phenom. Drew his first comic for Marvel at 16. Drew a Deadpool miniseries as soon as he graduated high school. He actually says that he was working on it during high school, his senior year. He didn't bother doing any homework. He was just drawing the Deadpool miniseries. And I picked it up, not because I was a Deadpool fan back then, because Deadpool had just, I knew he was popular, but I didn't care for Deadpool until Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness had the I don't know if it was a miniseries or an ongoing, but I picked it up while I was at senior week in where was I? Ocean City, Maryland. And walked into a convenience store, and it just happened to have a copy of Deadpool and something Circle. And then I came home and I ended up following through with that that miniseries. So feels a little sketchy today. I did notice that. I don't know if you guys noticed on these pictures that I've been working on. Like, it looks kind of polished, but then like if you get real close, like up here, it's kind of sketchy. I really did have to go back and unsketchify some of these images to make them more polished looking. And I don't know when, for me, that kind of switched over, where it felt more comfortable to just kind of do a lot of these little lines instead of like the big, long, hold my breath inking line. But just the phase, or I really enjoy the way it looks. Looks like it gives it a little bit more energy. And then I go in and then I kind of steal that energy back by completing those lines a little bit better. And so hopefully I allow myself to just keep that energy a little bit. What do you guys think? It's not bad, huh? And I like that, when I'm using this AI generated image, they do the shadows pretty good. I think it understands what we like to see in an image and what makes a real looking image. And so where they drop the shadows is very convenient, because that's part of what I'm thinking when I'm drawing, is where do the shadows need to be to make it a convincing image. All right, let's get to the cape. And I think we can do the polishing up. Just going to use the cape generated in this picture, because that is also another thing I hate. I don't think I would like drawing Superman, I don't think. Because he's got the cool hair. Got to do the hair all the time. And he's got a lot of flowy cape stuff. Who am I kidding? I'd draw it. I'd give it a shot anyway. I'll do Batman. Batman, Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, even Superman. X-Men. I don't know that if I would want to do X-Men where I didn't know the characters. I just want my 90s X-Men. Wolverine, Gambit, Cyclops, Jean Grey. I know that Storm is pretty popular, but Storm was never on my list of favorites. I don't know why. Don't know why. I mean, I liked her in the X-Men 97 cartoon. People have been talking about that again lately. And I don't remember when that came out. Did that come out last year, 2024? Or did it come out earlier this year? I don't remember. But I remember enjoying it. I just don't spend a lot of time rewatching stuff. Especially like a series. Where I know that I have to binge a couple of hours. Just don't have that that time. I noticed that maybe it has something to do, this more sketchy style has something to do with Jim Lee and me, like, allowing his old X-Men stuff to influence me. And even though Scott Williams's inks are very, very polished, like, me trying to add those things back in really has increased my number of strokes that I take to create a line. I don't know. I don't know. All right, I think I'm ready for the V7. This was the V5. This is a rolling ball, Pilot rolling ball, precise V5. I'm going to do the V7, which is obviously a little bit bigger tip. And pours out more ink. So the lines are broader. And gives it a good line weight contrast. Funk says, Storm was so popular in the 90s, the fans voted for her to beat Wonder Woman in the DC versus Marvel comics. Really? Really? I do remember those versus comics. I was working at a comic book store at the time, but that I don't remember. That I don't remember. I don't remember who won what. I think I remember Superman beating the Hulk. But I mean, DC wasn't going to let the Hulk beat Superman. But was it Captain America and Batman? Was that the head-to-head? And who else? Don't remember who Spider-Man would have fought on the DC side. I don't remember. But according to Rob Liefeld, they only do that stuff when they're desperate, when their sales are really, really far down. That's why we have the Batman, Deadpool. That's why we're getting the Spider-Man, Superman. Somebody was really excited about that the other day, and I was like, oh, I remember who it was. And I was like, really? Like, I know that it's a classic. That's, I don't know if that was the first crossover they ever did, but I know that it's a classic crossover. But like, currently, I can't say that excites me. I don't know that there's anything that Marvel is currently doing that is exciting for me. I did just stop Absolute Batman, and I stopped the regular Batman also. So look at this hair, huh? That's all right. Turning out all right. Little Dave Finch lessons really paying off. I don't know if he still does the channel or not. When you're trying to create your own comic book, there's not much time to consume very much entertainment. Honestly, it's a blessing and a curse. Blessing and a curse. Big news in the comics world. Archie Comics will be published by Oni Press in 2026, and Sony bought Peanuts. Really? So messed up. It like blows my brain that like Archie can't publish their own comics, and Sony buying Peanuts. Like these big conglomerations buying up IP and doing with it whatever they want. Just makes me a little mad. Funk says the fan vote fights were Superman versus Hulk, Batman versus Cap, Wonder Woman versus Storm, Superboy versus Spider-Man. Okay, now I remember that. Wolverine versus Lobo. Yeah, so I think Wolverine. I think that was like a really stupid one, wasn't it? Like they go behind the bar, and then Wolverine like jumps back out, and because he beat up Lobo. But I don't remember what happened with Spider-Man and Superboy. I don't. Winners were Superman, Batman, Storm, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. Yeah, I guess it had to be. Well, there's 5. Okay, there were 5 showdowns, and it looks like Marvel got 3 out of 5. Oh, back to the happy accident here. Oh, back to the happy accident. See if that can't be just like a say what is what's going on with the what? What's going on with the what? With the what? I don't know what you're talking about. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? All right, we are winding down here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Friday night draw stream, the Friday before Christmas. So I won't see you guys until after Christmas. So I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. Remember the reason for the season. Don't let it be all about the gifts that you give or that you get from family members and loved ones. The gift of Jesus Christ is more important than any of that. That he came down from heaven out of that perfect place so that we would have the shot at eternal life with him. And that is more important than any gift that we can get under the tree, in an envelope, wherever, whenever. But I hope that you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and that you and your family make many memories, start great traditions this Christmas. All right, guys. You know I'll noodle with this a little bit before I post up the results, but really just want to thank everybody for hanging out with me on a Friday night every Friday, and we'll switch back to Sundays. I think in February-ish. I think that's when my son will want to go do skiing or something like that. So my schedule will change. I think Sundays do work better for me. Like by Friday, I'm kind of done. I just want to like wind down. So I don't know if you can tell in my voice that it's a little bit more like I got to muster up the energy. But on Sundays, I'm usually all for it. So just really thankful for you guys. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas again. And until next time, let me hit some buttons. Hit some buttons. Thank you for hanging out. And until next time, grace and peace. We out.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope, he's ready to start. With faith as his armor and a fire in his soul, Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, we'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.